Hey there, beautiful souls. It's your girl, Dara, the growth coach, coming to you today with some words of wisdom. So today I read a quote that said, "You cannot make sense to a person who only comprehends things at their own level of perception." You cannot make sense to a person who only comprehends things at their own level of perception. You explain, argue, or try, save your energy. That right there alone was plenty. That was a mouthful to me when I read it, because a lot of times we want to convince people. We want people to see things from our perspective. We want people to move in a way that we move. We want people to join our bandwagon, and we don't understand why they don't understand us. Now, understand perception is the way people interpret knowledge, understanding, based off of their senses, what they see, what they hear, what they feel, what they taste, but also off of facts, also off of experiences in their life. So I'm saying that to say this: people have experienced different things. And if people have experienced different things, then they're going to experience you in the way that they experience things. So if you are trying to convince someone of something, if they don't understand what you're saying, they're not going to understand you. They're not going to go along with what you're saying. Sometimes we have to change the way we communicate, even with children. You have to get on a toddler's level when you talk to them, not talk above them, down to them. You get down and you look at them eye to eye and you have a conversation with them so that they can understand you. And you use terms that they can understand. Same thing with adults. I know a lot of times we think because people are adults in age that means that they should understand, because I hear things all the time that says, "You too old for that," or "They're too old for that," or "They should understand they 50 years old," or "They should understand they're 40 years old." Age has nothing to do with their experience. Some 50-year-olds have been sheltered all their lives. They've been taken care of by their parents. They've lived with their parents. They didn't have to figure anything out on their own. So therefore, you cannot say because they are of age to you that they should know better. Everyone wasn't raised the same. Everyone wasn't taught the same things. Yes, everyone may have went to school, but even in school, people pull different things from the teachings, from the teachers, from the experiences. So we cannot feel like, oh, well, they went through this, so they should know. Maybe that's not the lesson that they got out of that experience. So I bring that up just because I know that sometimes it can be very frustrating when we are trying to communicate things to people. It can be frustrating when we see loved ones and friends going through things that we want to save them and we want to pull them out and we want to explain to them why there is another way. But if they don't want to take that other way, you cannot make them by arguing, by forcing, by cussing, any of that. You have to allow them to find their own way. It is okay to plant a seed. Plant it. Plant the seed. But that doesn't mean you're supposed to water that seed. You're supposed to shine the sun on that seed to make that seed grow. Sometimes you are only the planter. Sometimes you are only the person to water it. And sometimes you are only there to shine some light. But understand that it's always up to that person to see the need to change. And you have options. You either can love them through their change, or you can give them the space that they need to grow. Either way, it's still a form of love. But understand that the way that they understand and digest things may not be the same way that you do. So give them grace and mercy. And at the end of the day, decide what can you hold? At what capacity can you deal with this person and this situation? See, life is so much about relationships. Those that we continue to stay in and those that we remove ourselves from. Once you learn which relationships are just for a season and which relationships are forever, your load will be lightened. So allow people to digest things the way that they do. Understand that you have total control of how you deal with these people around you, and have a wonderful day. Love yourself. Love yourself. And all the love is but a bonus. Make it a phenomenal day.